Good day. Come and let's make this day enjoyable, useful, and meaningful, with the help of the lessons that we will be learning today. Our topic for this day is details in short stories and poems. Are you familiar with short stories and poems? You have possibly read and listened to different stories and poems, such as fairy tales and other bedtime stories. These stories and poems tell us what the characters feel and do. They may also teach us important lessons in life. By reading or listening carefully to stories and poems, you are able to determine the important details pertaining to the given topic, characters, settings, and other events. By knowing these details, you are able to answer questions asked related to the given stories or poems. To show that you understand the story or poem that you have read or listened to, is by doing the following ways. Noting important details, by describing the characters, the setting and the events. Noting important details is needed to understand the whole story. It is knowing the elements of the story like the character, setting, and events. Character. Character can be a person, animal, or creature in the story that can think, feel or act. It answers the question who. Example: the baby is happy. Who is happy? The baby is the character in the sentence. Setting. Setting is the time and place in the story. It answers the questions where and when. Examples: the girl picks flowers at the garden. Where did the girl pick the flowers? Garden is the setting in the sentence. Lena walks around in a summer day. When does Lena walk? Summer day is the setting in the sentence. Events. Events are things that happen in the story. Examples: 3 pups swim in the big tub. What do the pups do in the tub? The pups swim in the tub is the event in the sentence. Lito pats kitty cat every day. What does Lito do every day? He pats the cat is the event in the sentence. Sequencing events. The order of events in a story from first to last is called sequence of events. It helps the readers to retell the most important parts of the story in order. Sequencing events is also a good way to show that you have understood the story or the poem. You may rearrange the events by identifying which one occurs first, second, and so on. Inferring the feelings and characteristics. Character traits are person's actions. Inferring character traits is to draw a conclusion from what a character says, thinks, and does. Inferring the feelings and characteristics of the characters is also an example of showing understanding of the poem or story. Through this, you are able to determine the feelings of the characters in a story or poem. Identifying the cause and effect. Other ways of showing understanding of what we have read or listened to are by identifying the cause and effect, and determining the problem and the solution. Cause and effect relationship describes what happens, and why it happens in the story. Cause. Cause is an action or event that makes something happen. The cause answers the questions why, what caused it, or what was the reason. Example: Lee got sick because she loved to eat unhealthy food like hot dog and junk food. In this sentence, the underlined phrase is the action or the cause. Effect. An effect is what results from an event or condition. It is the solution, action taken or result of a situation. Example: Lee got sick because she loved to eat unhealthy food like hot dog and junk food. In this sentence, the encircled phrase is the effect. Cause and effect relationship describes something that happens, and why it happens. The cause is the reason, the effect is the result. Cause and effect relationship use connectors as clue words like because, so, and so that. Identifying the speaker in the story or poem. The speaker in the poem or in the story is the voice that communicates with the reader. It can be the voice of a person, an animal, or even a thing. The speaker could also be the narrator, and the person we imagine to be saying the thing out loud. Predicting the possible ending of a story. Making predictions is an important reading skill that shows that you understand the story, and it also helps you to develop your imagination and thinking skills. Predicting outcomes means thinking about what will happen next. By using the events that happened in the story, we can be able to predict what happened next. We may also use information from our experiences. Relating story events to one's experience. Listening to stories and poems, and relating the story events to your experience, is one way to identify your understanding and listening skills. Everyone loves to listen to stories. Stories keep children engaged, and let them feel that they are part of the story. If storytelling is made into an interesting experience, and fun-filled activity, where the listeners also participate in telling, guessing, manipulating, it could be a joyous learning experience. Discussion, illustration, and dramatization of specific events, in a short story or poem heard. Having a wide range of vocabulary and sentence structure plays a big role in achieving better understanding of a text. One of the keys to a good reading and listening comprehension is to pay attention to the ideas presented in the text. Identifying the problem and the solution. In most stories, the characters often encounter problems. Later in the story, the solutions to these problems are usually found eventually. Problem. Problem is an unwanted situation that has happened that needs to be fixed. Example. There is only one swing left, and they both want to use it. But Sarah, let Becky play with the swing first. In this scenario, the underlined sentence is the problem. Solution. Solution is the action done to correct the unwanted situation or to make it better. From the problem, there is only one swing left and they both want to use it, we arrived at the solution showed by the encircled sentence. Sarah, let Becky play with the swing first. Listen and retell short stories and poems. Listen to. Listening and retelling stories are fun and engaging activities. Listening is hearing what others say and understanding it. Retelling is telling again what you have heard or listened to. Here are some things you need to do when you listen. Open your ears. Ears are used for listening. When someone is reading a story, we should listen very well. Close your mouth. When someone is reading a story, keep quiet. Look at the person who is reading. Don't look around. Stay focused. Understand what you are listening to. There are important things you need to remember when retelling a story. First, listen attentively to the story. Next, remember the beginning, middle and last event. Last, retell the story using your own words. Retelling is a good way to check whether you understood what you've listened to. Short stories and poems are important sources of life lessons. As a young child, you will read and listen to different stories and poems appropriate to your age or level. After reading or listening to them, it is necessary that you can understand their meanings and details. See you again. Thank you for watching.